Good morning, and thank you for keeping it Citizen TV. We are so glad that you created time for us. It is Tuesday, and we get into the social hour. And this is the time that we get to address all the issues that you want us to address when it comes to your relationships, your friendships, or even just your own personal growth. And this particular Tuesday, it's a special one. The reason I'm saying this is because we really appreciate your support all through. Every Tuesday, just walking with us, getting to hear our thoughts, our opinion on some of the issues that we have been discussing here. But today we invite you on board, and we are going to be responding to some of the issues that you have been asking on most of the topics that we have discussed on this show. And it gives us so much, pleasure to just know that you're there and you're following this program. Of course, I'm not in studio alone this morning. I have the amazing panel with me, and one of them, Leo ameamua, black and white theme, but the ladies are looking all good. Karibuni sana, good to have you this morning. Cutie.
Thank you so much. Niko best. Alibad kama kawaida, sikupenda kwangu. Ni maisha tu venye nilipeleka.
Nijipanga leo unatuweka tu.
On toes, mapema ndio best. As they say, the early bird catches the woman. It's true yani. Hiyo bado inaishi kuwa, hata watu kama wanafikiria ni ya shule, the early bird always catches the worm.
Alright.
Udemi mwaka ameamua. Yani, hata niwaambie kitu Roberta. There's this look that you have this year, maze. Unakafiri.
Oh my goodness.
Unakafiri.
Before you started talking, I was just thinking about all the compliments I was also going to shower you with. So I guess the energy, I just love your makeup. Like the colors you're wearing, everything. And you too, Safine.
Thank you so much.
Look so pretty.
But guys, something more interesting is the fact that, so many people actually watching the show.
Yes.
And they're getting inspired, they're getting informed. And this we can tell by the magnitude of the questions that I saw in my DM. And I said, this Tuesday, by the way, we are not going to discuss anything.
Yes.
It's all about responding to the issues you've been raising. And in case you have any, before the end of this program, you can also share that with us, 22422 at Safine_Achieng at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is Daybreak. Cutie wakupate wapi?
Cutie Lady Josh on all social media pages.
All right. And you, Roberta?
Roberta Bobby everywhere. Please DM me, text me. I love seeing your messages because it gives us a perspective, and it helps us know what you guys are thinking about, what you want to hear more of, what you feel should be discussed. So I love it. Roberta Bobby everywhere.
All right. And at CJ Atemo as well. He'll be joining us any minute from now. And we just want to start straight away because maswali ni mingi. We still invite many more. So I'll start with one that concerns, what do you consider when looking for a partner? Yake hajaongea mambo mingi. Amesema tu, what do you consider when looking for a partner? And I'll be sharing a link of this show to every person who DM'd me. Okay. Kama uliuliza swali, upate jibu yako hapo ndani. So kuna mtu ameuliza, ni nini una consider ukitafuta mtu mpoa? Husband, ama hata boyfriend.
Something I like to, what I look out for, and something I like to tell people to look out for is friendship. Because friendship is the basis of all relationships. Your relationship with your mom, your boss, your partner, your cousins, your neighbors. Kukiwa na friendship flani yenye mna cultivate, and it doesn't have to be ati besties mko in each other's lives completely. Just basic friendship where there's respect, communication, trust, consistency, reliability. Someone you can call on, someone you can talk to, someone you feel comfortable around. Once the friendship, your foundation, your friendship, noga. Everything else grows from there. Yeah, because if you're comfortable around someone, you're able to talk to them, you're able to ask them. If you guys decide to progress and get into a romantic relationship, or even whatever you decide for the relationship, I think it serves as a better foundation for relationships. So friendship. Kukiwa na friendship, kutakuwa na respect, honesty, nini hizo vitu zote zingine, hizo adjectives zenye mnataka kuingiza zitaingiana na friendship. Because pia kwa friendship, kwa basic friendship, kuna tu respect flani. Kama we Safine, inaweza kwa watu onanangi daily, but kuna vitu siezi kuambia, kuna venye siezi kuongelesha. There's a way I can't let you down. There's a way I have to be reliable, consistent. Even if I'm not a major part of your life, there's just things there's these silent expectations you have of me, like, hey, Roberta, I trust Roberta. Yeah, you can, So I think friendship is amazing if you need to build a foundation to progress any sort of relationship.
Are you friends first?
Yes.
That's what she's saying. Are you friends first before you decide to take it to the next level? Are you friends first? And that will chart the way forward on how the relationship is going to grow. QT.
I keep saying this.
List yako inakaaje?
Wacha kwanza niseme hivi. I think tulidiscuss kitu like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they think, that's probably where this
is from, na nikasema customize for yourself. Because what Roberta is looking for is not what I'm looking for, and it's not what Safin or CJ is looking for. Everyone in this world, they are looking for different things. Kila mtu kwa hii dunia akona goals zake, akona yani relationship goals ni totally different. We mwenyewe unajicustomizea, we mwenyewe unataka nini. Kuna wale wanatafuta do, kuna wale wanatafuta love, kuna wale wanatafuta friendship, kuna wale wanatafuta companionship, kuna ule mse mwenyewe hata it's not even about the relationship. Yeye anatafuta tu mse mwenyewe watakuwa na share tu, you know, unaendeleaje, uko fiti. Kuna wale watu wanapenda kutextiwa tu. Imagine as simple as texting, kumcall, kuna mse usikianga tu fiti, inamekea day yake. So it depends with someone like you yourself. Wewe mwenyewe umeuliza swali, wewe mwenyewe unataka nini? What are your relationship goals? I think once you're able to know that, you'll be able to move from there. But me, I keep saying, for me, it's about respect. Yani, mi mtu akikosa kuniheshimu. Even just friendship, hata hapa saizi, venye tuwakoga tumepeana heshima. For me, it's about respect. I believe once you respect someone, the love comes. And I love what Bobby has said. Friendship ni kitu very important. Unapataga hata huyo mtu mwenye mnasema mko mabeste na endo mnakujaga mnapendana baadaye. You realize you come to love your friends. Of course, you don't love them from day one. This friendship grows into love. It grows into other things. So, ina depend. We kenye unatafuta. Andika tu hiyo list yako utapata. Lakini ujue uwezi have kila kitu. That's what I keep saying. Hakuna mtu perfect. There is no perfect human being. So, also remember, when you're doing your list, always know that kutakuwa na pros na kutakuwa na cons. Zile vitu fiti na zile vitu mbaya. Na zile vitu mbaya lazima ujue kudeal nazo. So you just know how to deal with them and how you'll deal with this person. Hizo vitu mbaya zikikamaniza kuwa akona all hizo friendship, respect and love, but hasira yake ni mbaya. So learn to live with it, yes.
All right, learn to live with it. And I like the fact that you've talked about, you know, friendship, because if you know, the way you have these kawaida friendships with your maybe girlfriends and, you know, even guys, kuna kuanga na some element of authenticity. Kuna kuanga na some element of, yani, you're just your true self, because you're not afraid of being judged. You're not afraid of, you know, showing up at your best because say maybe at a feel you go to wewe and you have fun when you go out with these people. You just have like a very good time. Imagine if this was how you guys began, then you get to make a very good,
That's like the hack. Like that's the easiest way to do anything.
And the reason why most relationships break is because wanna lose the friendship aspect of it. You know, love is good, but we love sustain, like it's love alone enough. Kuna kuanga na season flani maybe hauko hapo malavidavi, but if you're friends, you will still have a good time. I'm not the expert in this. You ladies and the gentleman who has just joined us are the experts in matters relationship and love, and we have CJ Atemo in studio with us already this morning. CJ, karibu sana.
Sante, how are you doing?
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a dressy day.
It is a dressy day. I was almost saying you missed the memo, but nikakumbuka. Allah. But karibu sana.
Thank you.
Today is a special Tuesday. We're just responding to some of the issues that our viewers have been, you know, sending us as we're having these very important conversations. And the first one was on a very simple question: what someone should consider when choosing a partner. The ladies have had their say. Now wacha tusikie kutoka kwa mwanaume. Yeah.
Oh man, but when I was coming in,
I'm not quite sure if it's a he or a she, but nitaangalia hiyo jina vizuri. So just respond generally for both genders.
See, the word that nearly sounds as cliche is compatibility, but it's not cliche, because love is good as a starting point, but it's not enough. We could love each other yet not be able to be with each other because of our mindsets, our preferences. We probably don't share values. We don't have a common vision for the things we want to do. So the element of compatibility, do we fit into each other's dreams and future? Do we fit into each other's aspirations? Do we fit into each other's values? That is very key. And sometimes people will fall out even on very simple things as how to treat relatives, how to treat kids, whether they want kids or not. yet there's love. But one partner may want children, the other one may not want children. So eventually the whole thing is about how compatible are you? How do you fit into each other and into each other's plans and dreams and goals and the values that they hold around relationships and family, if they want to put up family. Yeah.
All right. And I want us to go into the next one because maswali ni mingi. I hope you've captured something there at least. But the most important thing ni your list. We customize.
Yeah.
Ikufit wewe. Kila mtu ako na list yake. We may not be able to prescribe that this is it. These are the rules. This is the commandment for choosing a partner here. But it's upon you now to sit down. First of all, have a relationship with yourself so that you know what you really want and come up with a list that works for you, but also be open to compromise because you may lose out on a very beautiful relationship because you're very rigid on the demands that you have.
Yeah. Kwani you're talking about me.
Nimekuona, nimekufikia.
Meaning strict.
You may lose out on a good guy just because of a few akutik kwa 3 points kwa list yako.
And it's such a dilemma because that's an actual thing like people go through. You find someone and they're amazing, they're hardworking, they're rich, they're handsome, they're nini, they're everything, but they don't text back. So now you're hung up on the one thing they don't do. And CJ said you need to always look at the 80%. Stop focusing on the things that home to hafanyi. But sasa sengine unaweza pata hiyo kitu hafanyi ndio irreducible minimum yako. Like that's the one thing. Hata hizo I don't even care if you buy me flowers. I mean I love the flowers, but why would I want flowers in my house and you haven't talked to me for three weeks, you know? So it's venye tu umesema customize your list according to you and the thing with being very strict and rigid, don't be scared, don't lead with fear. It might seem sometimes like you're losing out on something good, but I promise you everything you want, everything you desire, it exists and it wants you back.
Yeah.
So hata ukilose umstako na 80%, we normally never say, what if you get there 101%? Ama we always project that you'll always definitely get less than that, but I promise you exactly what you want, it exists and it wants you back.
Yeah. So don't compromise.
Kuwa strict, lakini pia
kidogo.
Cheza na rada.
But kuna bare minimums, what you've said. Kuna ile usi compromise. It depends on who you are. The next question. I am married and open about it, and I honestly want to stay loyal and faithful to my wife of 6 years. But how do I keep that promise amidst the pressure of women throwing themselves at me? I don't go for them, they come for me. Honestly speaking, a few married friends of mine are also in the same situation. Yeah, anataka kukua faithful. Yeah, anataka. Sio wife of 6 years. By the way, kudos. If you really desire, kuna hiyo desire to part of the back. Hiyo desire ni muhimu. Anataka kuwa faithful, but kuna pressure. Women are just throwing themselves at him. Amesema hivyo.
I like that.
Na amesema a few friends of his who are also married wako in the same situation. I'm reading two things here. A man who wants to stay faithful, but kuna ile majaribu ya dunia. Then I'm also reading the trend of, you know, women and married men, what's the issue? These are the main points I'm getting from this. But wacha nianzie kiuti shida. Kuna msiwache wanaume wakae tu vizuri kwa ndoa zao. What is wrong with the women?
No, what?
Lakini napenda vile amejitoa kwa hiyo ngori. Mimi sina shida. Hao ndio wanajipa. Unaona vile amejitoa kwa hiyo ngori. Hao ndio wanajipa. Mimi niko faithful, but it's only normal and it's only human. I like the way he has said it because imagine ni kukua human na kukua honest with himself. He's being honest. Mimi napenda bibi yangu and I'm very loyal and to her and I really love her. But hapa her side kuna vitu zingine zina try kuni confuse. The devil is trying to confuse me. But what I'd say is kuna kitu inaitangwa self-discipline. I think that's the hardest thing. Manze self-discipline, and I'll just give an example. Kuamka asubuhi. I think for me, hiyo ndo kitu nimelana, and I keep telling this story. Like, mimi kuamka kwenda gym 4 a.m. Siliombe nimechange alarm, ilitoka 5 imeingia 4. So, ni self-discipline. Ni wewe mwenyewe, ujitem na ujidiscipline cause majaribu ya kuaga pale. Hata ile time yenye najaribu kufanya dieting yangu and all that. Kuna pizza pale inakuanga ikiniita. Kuna hizi, you know, these processed foods that are just calling me. Cravings zinakuja, but you need to keep your eyes on the prize and remember why you did this. Cause tulisema hapa juzi, relationships ni kama biashara. Ukiingia ni risk unakuanga ukitake. Kujuangi huko mbele kutakaje na vitu kama hizi ndio wazi na kama even in life kuna zile vitu zinakujaga zinakutempt. So it's only human. Kuna temptations huku nje for very many things, you know.
Vile ni ngumu unakula skuma.
Ni ngumu umekula. Alafu pizza inakuja hapa na nimekuwa nikikula greens faithfully alafu ndio hii pizza hapa inaniita, you know. But ina depend na self discipline. So it's totally up to him to remember why in the first place you got into this relationship, you know. Remind yourself why unapenda ude. Ukishaanza kujikumbusha the reasons why uliingia kwa hii marriage na mbona unapenda ude ama Jezebel watakupita pita hivi, you won't even think about it, you know. But it's only human and it's okay to be in that situation. For me I'd say it's okay. Ni normal. Hatuwezi sema ati kila mtu ako perfect. Macho hayana pazia. Hata saa hizi kitu ikipita hapa unajua si wote tutaiangalia, you know. So macho hayana pazia and it's okay for you to feel that, but jieke kwa self discipline. Jaribu tu, ambia tu Mungu akusaidie. Kama Mungu mbele mwambie God, hapa ni ngori lakini pamoja strong. Mtu wangu kaa strong, sawa? Kaa strong. Juu bado this is the beginning.
Watch sijaongelewa na. Juu huyu ni vizuri kusema unajaribu, but some men would want to be faithful. It's easier ukiachwa tu peke yako bila kusumbuliwa. But here is a situation this gentleman has said, kuna wanawake, there are women who are just throwing themselves at him. He's trying, but pressure ni mingi. Kuna mapizza huku na machips na you know, what do you do as a man?
You know, the fact that he has put the burden on the women, for me, is a problem. If it did not affect him in any way, he would not talk about it. I mean, anybody can throw themselves at you any day. If it doesn't matter, it doesn't really matter. It's like walking in a place and then a mad person insults you. You're not going to be telling your friends, I was insulted today. Because you did not put any value.
Yeah.
So you don't pay attention to it. The fact that he's putting such attention, it's like there's a disclaimer, a very subtle disclaimer. One is that these women are throwing themselves at me. Two, it is happening to other men. It's a very subtle disclaimer, so that if anything happens, I've already prepared you
that it is
that this pressure is coming to me. You understand? So I think, and then even the thing that, you know, I'm trying to be loyal. If you are, there'll be a lot of this pressure and you won't even bother. You won't even need to talk about it. Because yes, that happens to different people, but how many people will come into your inbox and you pay attention to it? The moment you start telling Bobby, the men are in my inbox, and I'm trying to stay faithful in my relationship, that means that thing has captured you.
Yeah, it's affecting you. Beginning
you're already
to think
feeling like you're losing control.
Yeah.
You're losing ground. So the thing is, he has to actually determine whether he wants to go with the flow and blame the women, or he will stand his ground and know that they'll always come. You know, they'll keep on coming. And the fact that it's happening to other people does not mean that he has to go with it. I just think that he has softly prepared the ground.
He's ready.
I think he has softly prepared the ground for something that he feels he might fall into. And probably, you know, he's enjoying the attention. Probably.
That is CJ who has said. So think about it in case you're watching. But I also want to hear your thoughts, Roberta, on this.
I agree
kuna
with
trend, yeah? Pia unasema kuna ka trend hapa amejaribu kusema anaona. Like si yeye peke yake ameuliza
kitu ina happen. Going on.
Men who are married are suddenly on demand.
But just what CJ said, I mean, kama kitu haiko rada yako, ni ngumu sana upay attention to it. And by rada yako, I mean like uko intentionally unaipea attention. Because all these things happen, they happen to women as well. It's not just exclusive for men. Even us women, they reach out all the time, every day. Not a see to ati just hot men. It's men on the streets, men at the shop, men in the gym, it's everywhere. It happens everywhere. And your attention, if you're someone who especially seeks a lot of external validation, it will definitely attract you. It will get to you. But if you're venye tu kitu amesema uko na yourself, self-discipline si rahisi. It's like it's the hardest thing to learn, because even me presently I struggle with it. Hata QT najua kuna vitu zingine maybe anaweza kwa may clock kwa gym lakini maybe kwa diet ana struggle kidogo. It's a very human thing, it's very natural. So unless kitu iko rada yako intentionally, like you're putting all your attention into it, I don't think it should be an issue. Everyone craves attention and validation. It's just about your focus and your discipline. Where do you want to get it from? Because pia kawe ni mse mwenye anyone can get your attention. Anybody, anything can sway your focus. Then maybe that's something you need to work on, because it won't just occur in your romantic relationships. It will also show up in your business, in your friendships. Utashindwa sana kukua na hiyo discipline. Ka uwezi master in this one aspect that's the biggest thing happening in your life right now, then ngumu.
Right. But just out of curiosity, CJ, what do you do? Let's just put ourselves in the situation of this gentleman. Ni sawa ameadmit, but sawa bas. Na feel vizuri, sawa bas, and enjoy the attention. So what do they do? Because I think that's the problem. Sasa afanye aje.
It's just a thing of that you don't have to respond to everything that is calling you. You know, again, I'll go back to the street thing. And Kitty talked about the self-discipline. You put some boundaries. There'll be a lot of things that will be seeking your attention. As you move on the street, whether you're walking or driving or being driven or something, there are a lot of billboards. You don't stop and look at each one of them. Yeah. And you don't take the phone numbers of every advert.
That's true.
All of those things are positioned to get your attention.
Yeah.
But not all of those things are for your usage. There are particular people that those things are supposed to attract. So the fact that somebody is in your space does not mean that they're good for you. Because they're just looking for somebody probably. They're out there maybe looking for a companion, looking for somebody who will take care of them financially, looking for somebody that they can be hanging out with and stuff. So they will be trying. By the time they're coming to your inbox, you're not the only one that they're coming to. They're probably just trying to get connected to somebody else. So if you are the one who pays attention and responds, then that's you. They get you right there. They're just advertising themselves, for lack of a better word. So are you going to be stopping at every billboard and saying, let me look at this one, let me call this number.
Let me confirm. Don't even need
See,
it.
even when you're just doing something like house hunting,
Yeah.
and you move into a space where there are 30 houses, you're not walking into all the 30 houses. You will discipline yourself enough to go into a show house and probably one that is available, and then you go just a sample of it. Because you know you can't take 30 of them. You can't be everywhere. There must be certain things that you have defined to be things that meet your needs and your tastes. So this person that comes into your space, do they meet a need? If there's no need, if I am full right now and you serve food, I will pass. Not because the food is not good. So we're not even saying that the people coming into his inbox are not good, but do they meet a need? If there is no need to meet, then there's no appetite to feed. And so when somebody is saying, you know, if I am fasting or I am on a diet and I keep on saying, you know, it's people bringing me pizza. What I'm saying is, look, I'm gone. It's just that I'm looking for somebody to blame that I didn't buy it. It's like a drunkard going out and saying, I didn't buy the alcohol. So the way to suit himself is that it's friends who bought for me. The friends bought for you, yes, but they didn't force it down your throat. You placed yourself where you could be bought for this particular alcohol. Yeah. So it's just that thing that I say that there's a soft disclaimer over there. So ask yourself, what need is this person coming to meet? And so why is that need there, especially when you already have somebody else? Why is that need there? Is it coming from unmet expectations? Is it coming from unmet needs? Is it coming from broken down communication? Are you now in a place where your relationship has gotten into a flat? Is there attention being put elsewhere because at 6 years probably your wife is now taking care of kids? Is it the challenges of life? Is it just something that is with you that you can't stay in something for long without needing a distraction or some adrenaline? So you start asking yourself, why is this need here? Yeah.
All right. So umesikia sasa. It is upon you to decide whether you will continue to participate. Left to say, my need has been met. I don't need the kind of attention I'm getting from other women. If you're married, you're married. Once you decide to kutoka kwa ring uingie, you know, make that decision and go. We have another question here. Good morning. I like your description of the 3 L's. My partner loves and listens to me. Challenge is I lack the leader in him, and it's a bit of a problem in our relationship. How can I help him understand that this is important, or how do I encourage him to lead CJ? So I think this is a question for CJ, but before tufike hapo, let's hear from a lady, because ni mwanamke ameuliza. Let's first of all get to hear what it means for a man to lead from your perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does leadership or a man leading in a relationship look like from a lady's perspective?
For me, it has a lot to do with taking charge and not being bossy, but being like someone I can look up to, someone who's better than me, smarter than me. And by better, I don't mean that in a condescending way, like there's a classism thing going on. It's about someone who you can learn from, someone who you can trust their decisions, you can trust them to lead you. Like they will, just in the sense of leading for real, someone who takes charge and makes decisions. And this is because I find as a woman that I am expected in a lot of dockets in my life to consistently make decisions. Everywhere I go, I'm always deciding, always taking charge, always making decisions. But in the home, when I'm with my man, I would just like to turn my brain off, and not in a trusting way. He's got it. He'll decide. You know, he'll take charge. I trust him. I trust him to make the decisions. And it's not that he's the only one making decisions in the home. I don't do any of that. It's just, it's a leading thing. It feels nice when, as a woman, you're able to just rely on your man to be very, to show up for you in ways. And this goes both ways. It is, you guys can be codependent on each other, but it's in a very healthy way. I would like to be able to explain it in a way that doesn't make it look like, you know, the man is there and then the woman is the subordinate. But it's in a very healthy way. It's in a way that there's so much trust. You trust that he will make decisions. And when there's a lack of that leadership, trust inapunguanga. Because if I'm making decisions everywhere else and then also in the home, I also have to decide everything. I have to take charge of everything. If I have to do it, it starts making you feel like, then why is he here? Then why do I need him? If I've got everything handled and I have everything going on, I do everything by myself, what exactly do I need him for? So the leadership is someone you can learn from, someone who can teach you, someone who can hold your hand, someone who you admire, someone who you're always willing to learn from, meaning he's very wise, he's way smarter than you. It's not just in the financials that he has more money than you. Inaweza kuwa maybe you guys are on the same level financially, but as long as he's someone you can trust and rely on, it just automatically makes you feel like you can relax in your feminine, because this is a man who is always going to show up when you need him. He's going to make decisions you can trust. He's going to show you, you know, kwanza there's nothing beautiful and, can I say sexy? There's nothing amazing like just knowing, yani, you know, this man, he's got my back. Like, I just trust him. It's such a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, true.
You can relax and... Ni vizuri nimeuliza, but it's many women can tell you, even Kitty can tell you.
True.
Yani, I don't need to think, I don't need to make decisions. It makes you feel so nice. So it's that's how I take leadership in a relationship.
Like the most perfect way of describing what a woman wants, you know, from a man. The leadership, the man to become the leader in a relationship. You've just captured everything.
I hope so.
But then, QT, from a woman's perspective as well, this lady, the problem akonayo, the man loves, listens, but doesn't lead. Is that a package you can take home?
You know, this thing, as I said, I learned it from CJ when he said the leadership thing, the lavish thing, and nakaongezea love na listen. Unajua listen ilikuwa nimesahau nikisema ni tatu. So akaongezea kwa discussion. Yes, that topic on that day. And he also said something about being listened to. Women, tunapenda kuongea sana. Unajua, like, tunapenda umefika home, you're telling your man this, and then when you tell him something, you want a reply then. You remember we had that discussion here?
Yeah.
And then as it is, hata kujibu saa hizo. Ile kitu unataka kuambia, he won't tell you at that particular point. He'll just be like, ataskiza. Then ujue ni kudigest and digest because they just don't want to. You know, men are solution providers. Like, too naturally, men are solution providers. I expect, when I tell my man something, I expect him to like give me a solution. Hata kama si pap, though tunapenda tu saa hizo like, so namwambia, unajua kuna ingo riko job na expect atanipe, but hata nipatia saa hizo, atanyamaza, aende digest, and then akama niambia. Na imanishi hajaskiza. Unakumbuka sije alituambia vizuri hapa. Haimaanishi ati akusikiza, anakusikiza, but hataki tu kukujibu for the sake of it, you know. Anataka aende digest, akwambie, then akupatie solution. Right. You get? So for women,
you have a man who
have a man
and listens, but he doesn't lead.
Sasa hiyo leadership part. Unaona hiyo leadership part tunaipatanga sana because for one, right now as it is, saizi tuko generation yenyewe, women, we are already making decisions for ourselves. Unaamka tu na decide, leo nitafanya kitu fulani, nitaenda place fulani, and you don't even consult. But now when the man comes into your life, and this is why I keep on saying, if you're not ready to get into a relationship, please don't, because now there is when hizi vitu zote zinakuja. Kama mimi nimezoea ku make my own decisions. When I'm getting into a relationship, I need to let the man be the man. If I also don't give him space to lead me, unajua saa zingine pia maboy wanakaga wanasema, okay, huyu haizi ambilika, huyu huwezi mwambia kitu. So pia yeye si ati haizi lead, anakanga tu akusome because umefika ile point he's telling you something but you're not even listening. Because hata kwa zile za huyu hata nikimwambia kitu hata asikizangi by the way. Unajua men just like wanapenda kukaa kukuangalia na kukusoma tu rada, and it might come out as arrogant, but inafikanga hiyo point yenye mwanaume ana decide, by the way, ni kama hata hizi, you know, I can't even tell her anything. So you also need to let the man lead you. Hiyo pia lazima upatie mwanaume space kwa nyumba, akulead, akulavish na kufanya hizo vitu zote. So pia wewe unakuwa na hiyo kierere, you also want to do everything for yourself. So also let the man lead. Na ukiona ni kama hakulead, talk to him about it. Mwambie, babe, by the way, hapa mimi nataka wewe utuambie tufanyaje, because there are those people naweza ambia mwanaume kitu akwambie, so tutafanya sautadu. Mimi nakwambia ukiulizwa hiyo swali, wewe jua tu hayuko hapo, hata akili yake iko na wewe, because these guys are just solution providers naturally. Atakupatia so tutadu ama sautadu nini, sautafanya mtu ati yani you see when someone does that to you, mazem wewe jua tu hata hayuko hapo, because saizi hata naturally tukimalizanga show unapatanga CJ kuna zile vitu anatuambianga, anasema you know, una get hawa setu ni solution provider. So ukiona mwanaume tu ati ameanza kukuuliza saa tutadu nini ama utafanya nini, wewe jua tu hayuko rada yako by the way, and he's not even there with you, you are alone. By the way, remember you are alone in this relationship. But pia anaweza ongea na huo boy wake amwambie, babe, mimi natakanga ukinipatia solutions, napendaga ukinilead, napendaga ukiniendevi. I also believe that is also a solution for you. Just talk to him about it, and then isipo come through, sasa hapo ni wewe uta make decision kama utakaa na yeye ama utatafuta leader.
Tutatafuta leader. Before tafute leader CJ. Anataka ana desire huyo leader atoke kwa huyu mtu ako naye sahi. So I like the question she has asked. How do I encourage? Like amejiweka kwa hiyo shida, which is good. It would have been a different case kama angesema that man is not a leader, nini, I'm blame. But here is a situation this lady is saying, how do I encourage him to lead? How do I support him?
You see, the element of leadership is greatly, when Bobby started talking and then QT, it still comes back to the element of decision making. Eventually, a leader has to make decisions. If you don't make decisions, then you're not leading at all. And I think that's what people are looking for eventually, that when they're thinking through so many options, they want to get a sense of clarity. That's what decision making brings.
Yeah.
Clarity. That clarity aspect is a matter of perspective. That you have your brains, you have your options, you have your knowledge, you have your skill, but I'm giving you perspective. If you did this, it would go this way. If you did this, it would go this way. So sometimes I may not even tell you, QT, do this. But I'm telling you the options, and I'm telling you the consequences of the options. So I've given you perspective. Then you will also participate in the decision making, which is where now Bobby was talking about, you know, it's not that the other person is being looked down upon. But if I keep quiet because I think that you already have some options, then probably I'm intimidated. Because what I need to bring is perspective. And that happens even with children. You know, it will get to a stage where you'll not tell a child, do this, take this course, go to this school. You bring perspective. And that perspective, that's like being a coach at the touchline, that you will say, this is our game plan, this is what you need to do. But again, you've got to allow them to have a sense of creativity in whatever that they're doing. So for her to encourage this gentleman, I think Kitty brought up that thing. You've got to diagnose whether you are the one who has stifled the man from being a leader, or he is naturally just the kind of person who is.
Or ladies can stifle the leadership in a man.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. If you disregard and discard everything that they say, over a while, they'll just be laid back.
Yeah.
And if he's already intimidated, probably because you're doing better in your career, or you've got more money, or you're more educated, and he has this little sense of intimidation, then you put it across to them that they have nothing to say, they will draw back. So they may stay with another L, which is loyal, but you'll get nothing else. But you know, the thing also is that in relationships, just diagnosis, in relationships, sometimes you're first attracted to the love that the person is showing you. And then you're growing into, and you love the fact that he listens. But all this while, he's never been a leader and it never bothered you. Because your relationship need at the beginning was the love. And you were probably with him in campus, in college, in an estate, in a church, wherever. And you always saw this love that he showed you. And you ignored the fact that this person was not even leading themselves. But you felt that somewhere along the line, we can work on the leadership aspect as long as I have a man who loves me and he listens. Then as you grow in your needs and in the relationship, you begin to realize, look, I want more than the love. I want more than this loyalty.
It's something like more than love.
Yeah.
Cannot eat love.
Now you begin to feel you're getting drained.
Yeah.
But now when you're bringing this to this man at that stage, he's wondering what changed. Because this is whom I've been all this while. And you were so happy about this. So the communication aspect, how do I communicate this? Is it something that was there before? Did they stop being a leader? So how do I communicate it in a way that will not intimidate them? Is it a personality thing? Because if it is a personality thing, that's very difficult. You have to handle it very carefully. Is it just something where somebody has decided he's not going to be responsible? So where is the breakdown in that communication? But eventually, having said that, you still have to come back to the place where you talk about it. And I would really appreciate if you would give me your perspective on things. I would appreciate if you help in decision making, if you can take action on some things. And sometimes in a space where, for example, you are several people and he needs to speak and he's not intellectually as endowed as you to speak, sometimes pass the ideas to him and let him speak. You see, you're coaching him to lead. You're coaching him to lead. I had a case one time, sorry, I've taken more time, but I had a case one time of a lady who had such a situation and they were running their business together. So the man never even wanted to come into the boardroom. And I said, why don't you then pass your ideas through him from home, not in the boardroom? Because she kept on getting frustrated that he's not saying anything. I said, well, run your ideas through him from home. Let him come in, let him initiate the conversations, then you can come and back up and, fill up the gaps and then go back home.
And you say, like my husband has said, like my partner here has said, the good wife says, you see, the idea that my husband has brought on the table.
So that you're just building confidence. Because when this person is not making decisions, they just lack confidence. So you find ways to build their confidence. It could be even in simple things as complimenting his dressing. And if he's not even good in that, choose the shirt for him, put it on him, tell him you look good in this. Because now it's a confidence thing that you're building. Sometimes just telling somebody I need you to communicate or to lead would not work out very well because they don't even know what that means. They even want it, but they don't know how have the capacity. So just find ways of boosting his confidence. If it is a personality thing, or if it is something that had been there for long, I'll tell you, well, that's going to be a long shot. You may need to just accept that you will live with this, because sometimes you can be feeding the other person's confidence to the point where now you get drained. So it's I wish we had more details around that case.
True. Yeah. But I think the match you've shared is pretty helpful, and looks like it's a lot of work. It's just the job description that Roberta gave us of a leader in a relationship is intimidating enough. So make it easier for this man. You just walk with this man practically into the nitty-gritties of the details that Roberta shared, because it's a lot of work. If they have to step up, it's a journey, and you cannot just let them do this on their own. The fact that they're not doing it means they don't even know how. They don't even know where to start. So it's you to roll up your sleeves and walk with them through that journey. But yeah, you have 2 L's. That's like 80% half of it. There are people who are still looking for just 1 L. Man, they have. Anyway, because of time, let's get to another one. Morning, Safin. I'm Ruth from Kericho. I'm loving the show, but this was a while back, not today. I have been single for almost 2 years, not by choice, though my former partner left me for another woman. Problem is, he's doing to that woman the exact same things I used to want him to do for me. Aki complain, anasema, the exact same things I used to tell him to do for me. Aki complain that I'm nagging and ungrateful. I should have moved on by now, but I'm still wondering why he left me to become the exact man I wanted. He did a traditional wedding, anajenga, etc. Should I move on or fight to have him back? I don't know whether you've understood this lady. Yeah, anasema, let me just go through it again. They broke up, but it's not by her choice. The man left and went to be with another woman. But hiyo sio shida. Shida yake kubwa ni this man left to become the exact man that she was been complaining about. Like, ametaka wafanye vitu, huyu mwanaume anasema she's nagging, she's ungrateful. But then akienda kwa hii new relationship, the exact same things ziliwakosanisha ndio kenye mwanaume anafanya the other side. So, anashindwa move on na dream man ama aende a fight for
Safin, dream man ni wa nani? Ni wake ama ni wa ule mwingine? No, but seriously, tulisema hapa kwa hii show na tukarudia. Acha niseme, when a man wants to spend on you, he's going to spend on you. When a man loves you, he's going to do all those things for you. And there's nothing wrong with you, Ruth. I think I told Ruth, hakuna kitu mbaya nawe. Please note, you are enough, you are beautiful, you're everything. Ni vile tu yani hakuappreciate venye ulikuwa unataka kuappreciate. Aki CJ ni enjoy. But hakuna kitu mbaya. Odem ni msupu. Kwa sababu mwanaume hakuwa na cheki, mwanaume ni loss yake. Imagine ni loss yake. Probably hata kwenye ameenda kitamramba by the way, una get. So hakuna kitu mbaya na Ruth by the way uko tu sawa, umefika bei, ni vile yako anaona na yako ana appreciate. Na vile tulisema, a man will do all these things when he wants to. Yani mwanaume akikutaka wewe, hata uko umeenda wapi ama wapi, atakufuata hata kama ni wapi. Imagine he will follow you, he will do all these things for you, atafanya hizi vitu zote yani kwako. So please, just note. Na narudia tena, Ruth uko tu sawa. Unaona msee wako, anakaa. Mwenye God amekuwekea, huyo God ako amekuwekea. God, huyo alikuwa msee mwingine. But ni ukweli hakuwa wake. Hata mimi bado nangoja wangu, sinawaambianga hapa. Hadi mimi nangoja wangu akambi. Because in life imekuwa character development zimekuwa mingi tena sana, but Ruth usisikie vibaya by the way. Wewe wako anakam and it's going to be fine. So just let him go. Let him do all those things for her. Your man is coming. Na nakwambia wedo yako kwanza itakuwa fiti zaidi. Right. Your wedding is going to be even better, you know. By then nimemfeel sana.
But inachoma,
inaumiza roho.
Because zile vitu msichana alikuwa na crave from this man, anafanya ule msichana mwingine. Mbona hakufanya na to make relationship work?
You know, a real fear women have, wacha nituuze. A real fear women have is creating the dream man, but for someone else. Una stay during hizo siku za kula sukuma bila nyama. Mutakaa siku ile mnalala kwa mattress kwa floor. Muteseke, mujengane hizo confidence. Sija amesema, alafu akipata tu
Kimoka.
Anaenda sasa his real type. Wow. His real type sasa ni different, ni kinasa Roberta. Si wale walianza na yeye kwa mattress.
Nauma.
Jui siwezi anza kwa mattress kweli. Lakini anaanza na wewe alafu sana nitafuta. Lakini my point is, Roberta, first of all, why are you still checking for them? Why are you, it's been 2 years, why are you still checking? You're intentionally putting yourself in the mental space where you're consistently going to get hurt. That's number one. Wacheni niwaambie hack. Ukitaka ku get over someone, just block them. It doesn't have to be forever. You can just tell yourself, I'm blocking you for a month. Alafu yo month ikisha, reevaluate. How do I feel? Na utapata the more you go, hata unaacha kucheck. Na najua kuna kwanga na obsession ya the other woman. Like you keep going to their page, you keep checking. And I told you guys last week, how someone does one thing is how they do everything. Please don't ever be confused by optics, especially watu wa kuonesha sana. You never know the stories. And you'll go on their page and you'll see something that will hurt you, but you don't even know what's happening. The real story. So please, love yourself enough to consistently just put yourself in the space where things make you happy and they make you feel good. Stop checking for the other person. And Cutie amesema mtu wako anakuja, usijali. Hakukuwa wako, ni sawa. Just try to build yourself in a way that helps you move on easy. It's not easy. Sisi, kama mimi nakuanga na escapism mingi, naanzanga sijui, nikikuwa hurt, nendanga nakimbia miles mingi. By the time narudi, I'm too tired to be sad. So just find healthy ways to cope with whatever you're going through. 2 years, I don't want to say 2 years is such a long time to grieve because grief is different for whatever loss, but step one, Ruth, kama una watch, acha tu kuangalia vitu zao, achana nazo. Wacha tu waendelee na life yao. Wewe kama utakuwa sad ni sawa, lakini start moving on. Because if you don't fix your heart, you will not attract the person that you want to come in.
Alright. Mimi nataka tu kuuliza, unajuaje ni anafanya hizo vitu? Hiyo swali nakuachia ufikirie. Tafakari.
Messi.
I was going to say what Roberta said because, you know, keeping tabs with the other person means that you are not even giving yourself the opportunity to move on. You're stuck. But on a light note, you know, if you were a high school teacher, you shouldn't ask yourself why a student is showing up in university the way they did.
Yes. Trainer.
Yes, so pat yourself on the back for producing that kind
Such
of
an excellent husband.
Because it means your impact on their life has been great. So
you left them a better person.
Probably you were not supposed to reap where you sowed, but you will still reap what you sowed. You'll get it somewhere in life. For some people, I'm going to say something that is a bit off. For some people, then they probably need a distraction. You see, the way when somebody is going through a rehab sometimes, a rehabilitation of an addiction or something, sometimes you're given a substitute. So sometimes you actually need a distraction. Sometimes you need somebody else to come into your life that will take your attention away from the other person, knowing very well that you're going nowhere, but at least this heartbreak will help you heal from the other person. This is a calculated heartbreak.
Oh my God.
You're even surprised.
No, seriously. See, why would you get stuck for 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Because of the depth of investment in there. So sometimes, I'm not even saying like, you know, you really relate and date, but there are people who will be paying attention around. So instead of you going on WhatsApp, checking this person's status, being on their Instagram, being on Facebook, why don't you hang out with somebody else then?
Thank you.
Just to distract you.
Kwa ground. Thank you, CJ.
Anyway, so those are some of the ways, but you find something that will work for you. You can go jogging, you can go running, you can do something.
Do planks. You'll not think about him. Trust me.
Or find somebody else who will give you attention. It depends on what you want to do, but bottom line is what the panel is saying. It's about time you let go. Stop looking at what is happening on the other relationship. Ulishatoka huko, move on. Focus on forward, march forward, and you will be surprised. Mtu wako anakuja. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for creating time this morning. Of course, still a lot of questions that we have, but keep them coming. We will be making sure that we create time for such sessions so that we can respond to the issues you're raising. But we are glad that this shows us that you're actually following and you're actually learning and you're actually curious and you want to better your relationships. And that's the most important thing. Love is a beautiful thing. That is what we usually say. It can work. And I'm glad that you all want to make it work. Asante sana. Have a lovely day ahead.